reached out to me in October or even earlier and asked me to do the show, and it turned into something even bigger than I expected. And I'm kind of overwhelmed by the response from all the artists and the people who signed up tonight. And thank you for being a part of this. It was for me very personal, coming out of the 4 years of dealing with, I'm just going to say it, Trump and all the backlash and homophobia. And I was going through a down period, leaving the museum and refocusing my life personally. And I go back to the personal is political. And I started, when Susanna asked me to do the show, I took a minute and I thought, what is it that makes me feel better about my work and my life, and what do I always go back to? And it's honestly like reading the works of veteran feminists like Kate Millett, and just being a part of a community of women and LGBTQ and like radically thinking people who are getting involved with activism and protests, and but also making art along the way and writing poems and blah blah blah. I'm not going to go on for a long time, but all this to say that it's very personal, and I really wish we could have had another opening where we could get together and really talk to each other and build the community. But in the future, all things going well, Shishama is a space that I run in Matawan, and we do potlucks, and I have plans, and I want to do something where we all can get together and then really talk about these things that are so important. But since we have like 47 minutes, I'd like to start by talking to, I have an artist queued up, Kate.
Want me to pull up the screen?
Yes, please. This is such an amazing view of the space. I really love it. It's 3D, and I think it's better than what we were doing at the museum, so it's kind of awesome.
Can everybody see that?
Yes.
So, Kate Oakson, I think, can you unmute yourself? Or do we have to do that?
I think you can unmute yourself.
Hi. I'm unmuted now.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you? Thank you. I volunteered her to be first.
Thank you.
That's what friends are for.
Okay. Here's Kate's work.
Okay. And can you read that? Let's see, there we go. All right. So tell us a little bit about how this works.
So you really want to know like how it came to be in this place?
Yeah. You have it all in 60 seconds. You got it.
Okay. So in 60 seconds, I make these ridiculous postcards that are pie charts, and they're a way of sort of looking at the day as this kind of a module, a complete module, and I break it up based on whatever like neuroses or like random thoughts that generally shouldn't make it outside, right? I'm kind of dealing with that overarching liminal space between the interior brain and what you say going out in the world. And these recent movable ones, so you see all the wheels, there's like 6 wheels and that actually move, so you can change the kind of content there, are concerned with this notion of resistance. I was working with the metaphor of the bardo, which is that afterlife is like the moment that life leaves the body until reincarnation in some Buddhist philosophies, religion. There's these apparitions you deal with, and I'm looking at the queer existence through these like exchanges or interferences with these apparitions, and that's kind of marked in these spin wheels. I call them spin wheels in these pie charts. So that's kind of what's going on there. The title card, the ones that I'm making that have these movable parts so that you can go up and sort of adjust them, have like a much longer title or title card to kind of engage you. And I know it's hard to read that this way, but I can read it if you want.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah. We grow in one direction, proceed in formation. There is no open carry permit for the weapons we need to protect our souls. We win again and again just by waking up and fucking. So it's this sort of treatise on core parts of identities, the things that aren't seen, how you walk out in the world and deal with these apparitions, this metaphorical apparition. So
beautiful. I like your haircut, by the way. And your sweater.
I'm turning my video off.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can we switch now to Stacy Pritchard?
Sure. Why don't we walk around the gallery the long way?
Okay.
There, so everybody can see it who hasn't been there yet.
Do you remember where everything is? Because
I do.
Kinda...
I like live there.
Right.
Oops.
I love that space.
Did I get out of it? Yes, I did not. Okay.
While we're getting there, Kate, I owe you an apology. I signed up for a meeting and I missed it.
I got your email. It's all right. We're going to reschedule.
I'm so sorry. It was like an hour after it, and I'm sitting there on the couch, and I'm like, "Oh no!"
No, it's okay. We're going to do more of them.
I've been having a really hard time, I have to admit, since COVID, coming back around and like getting myself back into the habit of being in meetings or different things like that, and having schedules and things. Yeah. So this is my piece. These are trophies 1 through 4. They are slip cast bullets in porcelain that then have a resin supported porcelain round flower that is also slip cast. They're mounted on lathe turned aluminum and marble to imitate trophies. This is an ongoing series that I'm doing with ceramic slip cast bullets that really kind of, I'm reversing that kind of idea that they're made out of earth and that they take life. And I'm looking at our worship of violence and our worship of this idea of might versus right that is basically prevalent in most prevalent in white supremacy in our world, today. I've been exploring the bullet forms for about 1.5 years, and so I'm pretty happy with these.
Great. Right on time. Good job.
Right?
Thank you for being in the show. I love these.
I'm so happy with them.
Very cool.
Thanks, Stacy. And next one is Christy O'Connor.
Okay.
I have to admit, I actually asked them to go first, so at the pace.
Don't.
Sorry, I'm late. I'm Veronica
There's
Lucas.
not much on the video here to see, unfortunately, a little bit.
It's got the end card.
Can you see it? Oh yeah.
There it goes, sort of, kind of.
Yeah.
That's okay. I can just describe it. So, first off, I want to say thank you to Donna and Susanna for this wonderful exhibition and including me. My name is and the work I have in Women's Werq is titled Paraphilia. It's a video installation, and it's a combination of wearable art and performance and video. So paraphilia is a psychological term to describe people with abnormal sexual desires that are sometimes harmful. And the general piece depicts me in a wearable sculpture, this red dress, kind of dancing awkwardly. You're not sure if it's supposed to be looking like a sexual seduction or I really don't want to be there kind of way. And the whole idea of it is this fetishization men have of women, some men, not all, of just this idea that, they want older women to look younger women to look older, and you're like caught in this tug of war of what is the appropriate age to be. And, it's a little, for me, I think it's just troubling knowing that that's part of our society and culture. And the red dress is made out of paper mache and cardboard and cake box tops and all sorts of interesting things, and lace and cheesecloth and painted red. And that's my work.
Nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for being in the show.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. Can I jump to, I have this list. Hopefully people are here. Let's go. Marisol Ross. Are you here?
Let's see, she is. Oh, hi.
Hi.
Oops, wait a minute. I overstepped it. Wait.
The circle that travels.
Yeah, I'll get this.
Say hello. Sorry, I had to join late. Go ahead.
Hello, sorry I have to join late.
Oh,
That's okay.
Okay. So my name is Marisol Ross, and you're looking at the Utz Girl. The Utz Girl is the logo for the snack company.
This one.
I don't know if you're familiar with, if you're not a baseball fan, the Corona cutouts. You couldn't have fans in the stands. So I've been doing a baseball series, and then the Corona pandemic happened, and I was horrified and kind of fascinated by those weird cutouts in the audience. So that was and then the Utz Girl, if you watch the Major League Championship Series, it became the Utz Girl is a sponsor for women's sports, but she was also the company was also the sponsor for the championship series. And it kind of became like a fun game. Every night you'd watch the game to see where they would place her at night. So finally I said, oh my gosh, I have to do the Utz Girl. This is hysterical. They had a player actually playing catch with her in between innings because they missed the fans too. And it was like a tradition where they would have catch with the fans in the audience. So when I got this shot, I took it and I said, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be awesome to make it a feminine statement where it was just great women from particularly the Bronx, but also New York and New Jersey. So if you look at everybody in there, they're all from New York and New Jersey, but particularly the Bronx. So you have Jennifer Lopez. But then the crazy thing was, as I'm doing this,
I see you.
Yeah.
yeah, that's me. I'm also from the Bronx. There's one exception, obviously. Kamala Harris is not from New York, and I was going back and forth, and then I was like, of course, she's the first.
Beatles cover.
Yeah.
She has to be
Okay.
there. But the crazy thing was I had done this because, artwork takes forever. I had laid this out many months before the inauguration. So the fact that it turns out this coincidence of people that sang and opened, and you have Judge Sonia Sotomayor, who's a huge Yankees fan, also from the Bronx, did the confirmation for Kamala Harris. I was floored. I was like, oh my gosh, I must have been channeling something from the universe. You had Jennifer Lopez singing, and then
Good job.
Lady Gaga sang the anthem. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Because I had laid it out before that happened. And then the Utz girl is from Pennsylvania, and Biden is from Pennsylvania.
It's like uncanny almost.
Hit all the bases, right?
Right, of channeling something. But anyway, the whole thing, it's in baseball, there's no ceiling.
It was a home run.
Right.
Good job. Well, thank you so much. I really like this piece. It's fun.
Oh, thanks.
And I think it brought us good luck. I thank you. Let's see. I'm letting time go too. It's like I need more time, but we're gonna try to do as much as we can with everybody. Do you want to? Should we go to Miriam Jacobs? And look at it.
She's over the other video. Oops. I'm gonna get it. And I keep going.
Great.
Okay. There. No, it doesn't. Okay, we'll just look at it from here. It's the video, but it doesn't show you much on the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, I didn't know I was going to be saying anything tonight. You can see, I can tell you that on the Studio Montclair website, you can see the whole film, which you can't see right now, clearly. This is a film about rape, and I asked Susanna, who I assume asked Donna if it was okay that it wasn't about specifically the last 4 years, but Susanna said, go ahead and submit my piece. And I thought, okay. And along with that, unfortunately, this issue is still as relevant today as ever. So especially considering who we just got rid of. So that's part of what I would want people to know. I did this film intending to have workshops with the Werq. I did a couple years worth of workshops with the still art of this film, and had a lot of discussions where we talked about what rape is and what isn't, and had discussions. I remember in a high school, one of the first workshops I ever did, where people were wondering if prostitutes could ever be raped. And so that led to a very long and revelatory discussion. And the whole thing has been very interesting, because when I tell people what the project is about, they expect to see a cartoon depiction of someone getting raped, which it is not. It's mostly abstract images. So
It's very powerful. Very powerful.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but you did a great job. I just want to say that the videos are all available to watch through the website. And thanks to Susanna. And I encourage you to check them all out, and also listen to the video or the audio components. People started telling us things that were very deep and personal, and it's fascinating, like how much people have to share about their lives in this type of context.
Can I say that I really appreciate every woman that ever does a piece about this to speak out in any way.
Thank you, Stacy. Yeah, me too. Take a moment. Can we jump to the windows, or is that too soon?
Yeah, I mean, if you want, okay, we have to actually leave the gallery if we're going to go look at the windows. We can always come back.
I was going to say maybe I was going to have Megan Dyer talk about her work if she's here. Megan.
So there's a little video of the windows since we can't do the, in the round thing there. So we can just walk through that. I guess it would be better if I could.
Oh, yeah. Couple on the bench. Oh, no, a different one. Have you cast the page?
That's better.
It's a good one. The monkey suit.
Yeah, I like that.
That's very good.
Yeah, the windows are fantastic. For this show, I asked Donna if she would curate the windows as part of the show. And I just think they're really exciting. Is Megan here? Do you want me to stop it there?
Yeah, Megan, are you here? I thought she was here.
Oh, maybe not.
Did I do all that for?
Oh, well.
We could take a look at the windows. Just let it roll. I actually invited a special guest, and we ended up bringing in some artists from Brooklyn, and this is their work. Kay Turner has a video component that you can click on. Like when you go to the windows, you can you can scan the code.
It's also on the website under her name too, in the virtual show.
Right, and it's a performance piece.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd say if you have a chance, check it out after after the talk. But it's really interesting, and anyway, keep rolling.
Okay, well, this is really the end of this.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to go back to this and
yeah, let's look at I guess since I thought Megan was here, how about Catherine Elise? Look at Catherine Elise.
She is the suit, right?
Yeah.
I think if I click the floor, I keep going past it.
Okay. This is our first time going through in this way. With this, at least for me, with
interesting format.
It is, yeah.
3D.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say that the Sock Monkey is by Liz Collins.
Oh, I'm having a problem getting that.
Actually, and was the person who invited the majority of the artists in the windows, and it ended up being a really
Why am I not getting here?
strong part of the show.
Okay, well, this is weird that I can't actually get to it, but here's the piece. It's this one.
Good one next to Baseball.
Yeah, but she can't seem to turn the corner.
Yeah, I don't know why. What I think of is maybe if I go over here. That can't be okay.
That's better. That's better.
Okay, here we are. This is a little book, right? Okay.
Yeah. Of course. Are you here? Hopefully.
I'm here. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Sorry, my dog wanted to join in the conversation. I made this piece called Power Suit. I work at an art studio, and we received a bunch of like suit sample books and stuff. So I was interested in the conversation of like growing up when I first came out, wearing men's clothing, and then eventually like transitioning into women's clothing as my identity kind of evolved over time. So I was really interested in this kind of power dynamic of, the power suit, something that's inspired from men's clothing, and, what makes this like inspiring to be like powerful and confident, this juxtaposition of the female body and a male piece of clothing. Kind of interested in like the male gaze and stuff for women, especially in the LGBT community and everything like that. Keep it short and sweet.
I really like flipping through that book.
Thank you.
Nice feel to it.
Yeah, I was trying to be really as inclusive as I could be with different skin tones and stuff like that, because I think they're all beautiful and important to address.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, so it opens up? I had missed that. I didn't dare touch it.
Yeah. Yeah, I put a note saying it would be okay too, but I didn't know with like the COVID restrictions and everything, how plausible that would be. But yeah, it opens up, and each different page is a different skin tone and different shaped vagina and stuff. So yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, you'll have to come back to the gallery and go through it.
Yeah, because
I was really hoping to be able to be there for the opening, but I live in Ohio, so we're still on travel restriction and everything.
Oh.
So I was really disappointed. I really wanted to come out and see all the artwork in person.
Oh, well, I'll have to do another show, and we'll try it again.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me in it.
Thank you for being in it. I love this piece. I love it. All right. Let's see. Can we go to Gwen Charles? Any chance?
We can.
I'm looking at all the videos, and I'm sorry that we can't click on them, but
and
they are on the website.
And Gwen, I did turn it around and put the salt piles on it.
Great. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Suzanne. I'm excited about this exhibition and the range of works. It's amazing to think that in this day and age, celebrating the divine feminine is still a radical act. And I'm glad that Donna was able to select so many artists to put in the show and give different examples of how we see that feminine aspect. So I recorded these videos. It happened to be the summer solstice and a full moon, with a number of women on the salt flats, which is a, prehistoric, used to be a lake that evaporated, and it's miles and miles of salt in Utah. And I was experiencing some uterine issues at the time, and my acupuncturist was doing a form of moxa where you fill the belly button with salt, and then you light a flame on top of it to bring the energy into the body. And I was doing this treatment every week, and it was supposed to be nourishing for my body, for my uterus. And I wanted to replicate this action. Here I had this acupuncturist was pouring salt in my belly button every week and lighting it on fire. And I had similar action. I had two dancers crawl on the salt flats, collecting the salt and then putting it into each other's belly buttons. And it's a very slow action, and it's meant to sort of replicate the idea of women supporting each other, women supporting women, nourishing each other, this action of the earth nourishing us, and thinking about us nourishing the earth back. So after each woman put the salt in their belly and they did the sort of ritual action, they dumped it back to the earth to give back the nutrients. So thinking about this idea of being supportive, being sustainable, giving back.
Nice. I like the idea of lighting the fire in your belly button. I want to try that.
It was too windy to do on the salt flats. But yeah, you can ask your acupuncturist if they'll do it for you. Otherwise, I'll recommend mine.
And was it incredibly healing, the process?
Yes, it's very healing, and especially if you have a cold constitution, it warms your whole body and you feel it. The warmth goes from your belly button and it spreads through your torso. It spreads through your whole body. It's really an amazing therapy if you can have it done. If you're meant to have it done, if you're a warm constitution, it won't be good for you. You can have another kind of therapy done.
Nice.
Thank you.
I love the video.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Can we go over to Lisa Ficcarelli-Halpern? I know she's here.
Sure. Hi, Donna. Hi again.
Hi. I have to put you on the spot.
This is you, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, thank you, Donna, for accepting my piece in the show. It's a wonderful show, and I'm going to come and see it in person. Just haven't made an appointment yet. So my piece is called Abundance, and what this is actually a digital version. It's a printed version of a portrait that I did about I guess it's about four years ago that it was actually completed. And so the model, like I often use friends of mine as models. And so this is Ellie. She's a very good friend of mine. She's gay. She is married to a woman of color. And I believe they have a daughter who is now about 7 years old. And at the time that she was posing for me, we had wanted to do kind of a send up of the figure of abundance, which is a pretty, it's sort of a famous kind of a figure in art history. And particularly the version that was done by Elizabeth Vigée-Lebrun, that is the one that we kind of were looking at as an inspiration, because I use art historical art a lot as my inspiration. And so it started out as a portrait. I really wanted to do the abundance, the cornucopia hairstyle. That was kind of the beginning focus of the piece. And then we wanted to do something about olive branch, because that oftentimes that figure is portrayed holding an olive branch. So I started working on the portrait. We did a lot of a couple of photo sessions, and we collaborated on how the clothes and the pose and all that. And she's just perfect the way she posed, and like I took 100 pictures, and every picture was wonderful of her expression. But we finally settled on on what it was going to look like. And so I started painting it, and then the election happened with it's like kind of like Voldemort, you don't want to name him, got elected. And the Women's March happened. And I was so like amazed by, all of what happened, and the graphics that all the signs, and it was just an amazing time. And so originally the portrait was supposed to just have this sort of a woodland kind of a background, but in the spirit of feminism and solidarity, I asked her, how would you feel about if I embedded the signs in the background? And she was like, yes, you're doing this. So I actually did that, and the portrait, it was a commission. She had commissioned me to do it, and the portrait's about probably twice as big as this digital print. The print's about 19 by 30 inches. So you know, we did the portrait. It was in full color, and it is on my website in full color. But at the time that I was figuring out where to put the signs in the background, I did this digital print, and I just did it in black and white. And I just really always loved it. You know, it had a real, I felt like it had a real documentary feeling to it, you know, because it was in black and white. So when the show call came out, I thought, you know, I really would like to show this piece. And I'm just so thrilled that that you chose it for the exhibition. And I really do like it very much in black and white. I think it really is, you know, reads very well. And you actually see the signs a lot better in the black and white.
I don't think I've ever seen a print of your work. It's usually painting.
Yes, well, you know, this was just one of those things where, you know, you're working on a piece, and, you know, I like to, you know, envision things visually. Like I don't want to just, like, I'm a real planner with my work. I like to lay things out, and it ended up being a really nice image in and of itself, you know.
Mhm.
Just yeah, and Ellie loves it. She's got it all over her social media. You know, it just keeps on giving. So
thanks for being in the show.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me and for letting me speak about my work.
My pleasure. My pleasure. So we're going till 8, right? That's the limit, or?
Yeah. That's.
So we're not going to be able to get everyone in, but we're going to keep going until we run out of time. Is Yvonne Duck here? I see you in the chat room.
Hi.
Hey.
Let's see. I think if I go stand on the floor, I'm getting this down.
Can you describe what the texture is on the outside of this piece?
It is actually the paper from a beehive, and I used it. I created this sculpture, sort of like a womb, this round plaster sculpture that I created, and I used the paper from a beehive, and I laid it over top of the sculpture and pasted it down. And it was kind of to give the meaning of, like, the queen bee being housed inside. So the uterus was around, surrounded by this hive and kind of protected, yet it was kind of juxtaposed against the nails and the man-made, and kind of suspended. I guess it was suspended in there. I mean, I was trying to suspend the womb in there kind of in a haphazard way so that it was a little bit fragile. It wasn't really like, is it, you know, I guess I didn't really know if it was, like, I guess men sort of still have this control over our bodies. And it was to sort of represent that theme of not really knowing if it was mine, not really, you know. It was interesting to hear Gwen talk about her piece, and I had some uterine issues as well. And so one of the things that struck me when I created the etching that I did on the inside was that every person who I talked to, every gynecologist, you know, things of that nature, they were always like, oh, you don't need that, just take it out. You know, you don't worry about it. Like, you don't need to have your uterus. And I was very adamant about, like, it's my body. I want to do what I want with it. And so one of the things that I did was create this diagram of the uterus and sort of create this medical sort of look to the etching. And I wanted it to appear like it's been there for years and years, you know, have this antiquated look, I guess, but then juxtapose it with the word mine. So, you know, historically, I think in medical descriptions, things like that, it's, you know, sort of seen as a specimen, but I was trying to extract that idea and make it more about the, this kind of battle of, you know, of this maybe a powerlessness that women have, but also a power that we do have. So there was a lot of themes going on when I was trying to bring them all together, the beehive and the womb, and then the uterus being one that I think is powerful in and of itself and is my own. And you know, I guess I tried to express that in this piece. I did.
Great. Thank you. I like all the different textures and messages, and
it's kind of very layered. very many concepts layered into this, and I think that when I was pasting the beehive down, it really kind of felt that way, layer upon layer of these ideas and concepts, and kind of screwing it in there, and a little bit being screwed over, but
and both strong and delicate too.
Can we do one more? You think we can?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Olga and Alexander.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I'm here.
We're gonna have to go outside for yours.
Right.
Oh, I keep doing that. I'm sorry.
Right. Let's see. I think I have to move this thing. Okay. Go back out to the windows.
There it is. There it is.
And you just went past the sock monkey, which is Liz Collins. I won't make her talk, but she's in the
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Donna and Susanna, for having me in. It was a great show. I really enjoyed meeting both of you. This is a painting on clayboard. It's one of two pieces, but part of a very large installation called Feminine Transcriptions. And it has taken various iterations about the fluidity of gender and empowerment. And I go in and out of it as I see fit. I mean, if I had showed you the whole installation, you would get a better sense of it. But I like it. Thank you. I like exploring gender through fashion.
Hands off.
I'm sorry? I didn't hear that. Okay. I was just saying I like to explore gender through fashion and how it empowers and takes on the fluidity of gender roles. And I've gotten more into fashion as I try to do jewelry design. So I go from creating my little galleries within jewelry and then go back to painting and installations and try to kind of bring it all together in the installation part. So this is one of the pieces in that focus.
Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can we do go back inside, Jennifer Hughes?
I can do this. I mean, and if you have other people you want to include, I mean, we can go over it, and whoever needs to leave can leave, and you know, Jennifer Hughes, which is that the game?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Getting better at this.
You are.
Okay. Jennifer there?
I thought so. Uh-oh, failing, totally failing.
I was going to suggest maybe like asking if anybody wanted to speak about their piece who is here.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, yes.
Hi, Lisa. I would.
Who's that?
Lisa Weinblatt. Lisa Deloria Weinblatt.
Okay, let's go over to your piece.
Oh.
There you go.
I don't know how close we can get because it's large.
No, that I know. It's going to just blow up. Thank you. That looks great.
Good. Okay.
What I do is I basically, from a feminine point of view, of course, I go into New York City and surrounding metropolitan area, high schools and college settings, and I observe the kids, and I come in with a drawing book, a notebook, you would say, and my pencils and erasers, and I actually ask if I can draw the people that you see here, and then I let them take a picture of the drawing on their phone, so they have a copy. But I observe what's going on around me, and I just try to get a sense of who's there, what they're doing, what seems important, who's gathering together, and it's really just a current recording, I guess you could say, visualization of what I feel and what I see. I mean, when I go back to my studio, I'm looking at my drawings, I guess the way a photographer would lay out the photos. And a lot of what I'm thinking about, who and what I felt and what I want to say about that particular moment. And I want to include everyone. I want everyone to feel that they're represented and I basically also want to show the combination of diversity, I guess you would say. I do try to relate something that I felt at that particular place, but I feel that it's coming from, as I said, a feminine point of view, and I hope I succeed at it. And I want to thank you very much, Donna, for including this in the show. I'm very excited about it, and I feel thrilled to be part of it.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you being in the show. It's a beautiful piece.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who has something to
want
say?
to hear about Zenyatta? Does anybody want to hear about Zenyatta?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't have to talk about it.
No, please.
Okay. So behind me, I have a bunch of paintings that are similar. They're mixed media pieces, and the top part is done in chalk, and the bottom parts are in caustics with words, and usually they sort of have meaning to them. Zenyatta was a racehorse that was one of the only mares that did not really get recognition. Usually they're male horses that get recognition in that. And I think that the symbolism of racing is also, relatable to women in the workforce. I try to use a lot of icons and symbolism in my work. And this is part of an ongoing series of endangered species. And so when I heard about the show, I thought, wow, is there an endangered species that can relate to this show? And I felt like, I don't know, the skeleton. I mean, if I put meat on the bones, it would be a different kind of meaning. And I kind of like to work where when someone views the work, that there are a lot of mysteries and that they can sort of withdraw their own stories and their own meaning within the piece. So, thank you so much, Donna, for your curation. I found a lot of really interesting words that other people were using in the show that related to my piece, such as trophies and the bardo. I put the bardo in my pieces all the time. I love that, whoever said that. Okay.
Hey.
And also the salt mines piece with the earth and the leftovers and the death and, life and death and ongoing and, life that is not really like truly balanced and not fair. And also the woman that makes the beehive. I'm a beekeeper, and that was just so cool. Thank you for that. I think I'm gonna maybe go in that direction. So thanks, guys.
Oh, thank you. This is great. I wish we could all be talking in the same room, but this is as close as we can come to doing that. So it's good. Thank you, Susanna, for pulling this all together.
Wow.
Is there time for one more or no?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Christine Sauerteig Pilar.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I didn't get to make a what do you call it, a recording, so I just kind of.
Well, then you can't talk. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can get right in front of it. Let's see.
Sure. And I guess I could talk about it as you're getting there. So this piece is about sort of the power of women. I was doing a whole series about it. I'm a very reactionary person. And during the past couple of years, I felt lots of rage and watching people going through protests and women being pushed down. So I was investigating and staying with this idea of the squat and what a powerful position that is for a woman, and that you are sort of pushed down, yet we birth in that. And there's so many different things throughout primitive society that we're in that position. And it's also a position where you can bound up because you are not, you're with force, you can move yourself up. So this piece is about how women their power is suppressed, and in order to meet and keep ideas, sometimes it has to be hidden, and they're sort of in dark places. And so the floor is sort of like meant to be one of those like dirty like bathroom floors or kitchen floors. And it's sort of, this is the moment when the light is kind of switched on as they were sort of coming up with ideas about how to maneuver from where they are. And in their bodies are drawings, like in the one leg, she has a rocket that's coming up through her leg, and that's sort of giving the power. And inside of them are wilting flowers because they're older, and yet they still have seeds to give, but the beauty is still there.
Cool.
I like the materiality of this piece. Very, very raw and then refined.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you for including me. I was so honored. Thank you.
It was my pleasure. Really good piece. Anyone else? Anyone else in the last little bit? Or
yeah, I'll talk about my piece, Colleen Sweeney Garmin. It's right there.
Right here.
Right next to you. There you go.
Oh, beautiful.
See if I can.
Right around the bend. Oh.
Yeah, let me see if I can get a better view of it. I don't know if.
There you go.
I can't really look down at it. I think that's the best.
Okay, well, that's good. It works. The title of the piece is called Full Circle, and it has to do with reproduction rights and women's rights to their own bodies. And I call it Full Circle because it seems that as far as women's rights regarding birth control and reproduction rights, that we go around and around the same issues for decades. When we think about Roe versus Wade and how that always is swinging forward and swinging back. And so the circle is just constant and it doesn't really end. So it has feet around a dip dish, and I picked a dip dish because I thought it was sort of a piece that classically serves others and that one would use a party or a setting, typically a female serving dish. So again, the dip dish, and in the center I have birth control pills. So we're making one step forward and two steps back constantly in the idea of reproductive rights and how they're taken away and are really contingent on others outside of ourselves. The makeup of our Supreme Court, whether it's conservative or liberal. And as I said, Roe versus Wade is constantly waving back and forth. The ERA amendment still has not been ratified. And then even looking at the news today, that the March Madness.
What is that noise I'm hearing? Someone needs to mute themselves. I can't hear Colleen.
Yeah, I think everyone who's not talking should mute themselves.
Let's mute.
Better? Seems better?
Yeah.
So even today I was reading about the March Madness and the women's NCAA team, and they were given one small set of weights to work out with and one mat, where the men's team has this enormous gymnasium full of high-end equipment. So again, like, it just seems that we go round and around in a circle, and there's no end to or resolve in our equality. So hence full circle.
Is there a dip in the middle?
No, in the middle is a round ring of birth control pills.
Oh, God, I love it. Okay.
Like I said, and the polyresin feet are like symbolic of, taking 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, that sort of thing.
Okay, anyone else before we close up for the night?
Thank you so much. What a great thing to do on a Friday night.
Yeah, well, I really encourage everybody to come make an appointment and see the exhibit in person if you can. It really is wonderful.
I am a George Washington Bridge, like 2 hours away. I would love to come. I've been there. I love it. It's great. But I love the way you can move through the gallery space. Thank you so much.
We will put this up on the website. And then, there also is the audio, as we said before, which you should listen to. It's great.
Oh, I'm reading through the comments. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Thank you for all. We had such a good turnout. This is incredible. I love you all, and I'm so glad to meet you all.
Thank you so much. And we're going to have a better year, right?
Yeah.
No more redheads. No more.
And please feel free to reach out to me and stay in touch, like through Instagram, and check out Shashama Madawan if you're interested in doing a solo show. I'm the curator. So
what is it?
Shashama Madawan.
Okay.
I guess I could put it up. Maybe. And I'm shameless, but got to do it. So email me if you're interested in talking about presenting, or if you need a studio space.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, so much for coming.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you so much, everybody. Great show. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Susanna. Thank you, Studio Montclair.
Thank you.